I tell y'all, I never thought I'd long for the time when Republicans said that hurricanes were just God's way of punishing the gays for partying too hard. No, but here we are. Yeah, apparently today globalists control the weather and they created Helene in a lab and trained it to target Trump supporters in lithium mines or so. I don't know. Look, I'd sooner lasso the moon than try to make sense of it. But I do think it's funny that people like Marjorie Taylor Greene are out here blaming weather events on humans. Like, dude, it won't be long before these people have bumper stickers on the back of their coal rollers that say, the only man-made climate change I believe in is Jewish deep state murder canes. You're going to see that and be like, that guy can't be serious. But he will be. He will be serious because there's nothing these people are more deadly serious about than being wrong and dumb about stuff. And it starts with Trump. Dude, Trump this week, he proved that when it comes to telling lies and stirring shit, he's still in his prime. So many lies, a lot of it about money. He told his people that rather than use the money to help Americans in need, Biden and Harris just keep sending it all to Ukraine, which first of all, they clearly don't really get how government spending works. But also, you tell me y'all are mad that America's spending more money on bombs than baby formula? Because that's a hell of a thing for y'all to say to us, don't you think? I mean, imagine going back in time and telling your MAGA buddy you think we should cut back on military spending in favor of helping poor people. Dude, he'd go cross-eyed trying to figure out which slur to call you first, right? But it's not just Ukraine are mad about that. To wrap the border into it, too. Trump's been telling his people that, Americans affected by the storm went to Kamala and politely asked for financial assistance from the government. And she responded by laughing in their face and using it to fund a showcase showdown for Central American drug mules. That's what he said. Pretty much that's what he said. He said that she used FEMA disaster relief funds to house migrants. Not entirely accurate, but also here's a fun fact. In 2019, the Trump administration totally used FEMA disaster relief funds to detain migrants. Yes, I said detain that time. And for your Aunt Tammy, that word makes all the difference, right? Sure, that money still could have gone to people affected by disasters, but as far as she's concerned, as long as it was used to put a brown kid in a cage and not a hotel room, everything's peachy keen, baby. Because that's always been how they feel about government spending taxpayer dollars, right? As long as they spend it on stuff that hurts people, that's A-OK. But if they spend it on stuff that helps people, that's AOC level socialism. I mean, Republicans don't even believe in disaster relief philosophically. I mean, not unless like a Sharknado hits Wall Street or something, then yeah, you can bet your ass they're gonna reach for the trusty old bailout bucket. But generally, regular people don't get help from the government. That's what bootstraps and church groups are for, right? Forget disaster relief. Project 2025 don't even want poor people to know when disasters are coming. They want to privatize the weather. That's right. So if they win and an American wants advanced warning of an impending disaster, they got two choices. They can either sign up for the premium version of the app, right? Or they can go stand in the yard with their finger in the wind and hope for the best, right? That is the future that they want for you. So keep that in mind next time they start talking about helping people in times of need. All right. Okay. YouTube, we'll be back more in just a second. First, let's take a look at some of the recent media coverage around this whole deal. All right, y'all, we're here on Ground News' website. They also have a mobile app and a Chrome extension. You can see we're looking at stories about the White House calling Trump's claimed FEMA disaster relief money spent on migrants absolutely false. Coverage breakdown over here, 71 sources so far, most of which are in the center, pretty evenly distributed between left and right. But here's what's interesting. You sort by the bias of the outlet down here at the bottom and look at the headlines, and you can see how differently this information is presented, even in the headline before you ever even click. If you look at left-leaning outlets, it starts by saying right-wing media are falsely claiming FEMA spent their resources on migrants instead of helping, right? And then down here it says, in case you missed it, Biden did not take FEMA relief money to use on migrants, but Trump did. See, they're immediately framing it as like, hey, this is not true. Here's what really happened. Also, look what Trump did instead, right? That's what you get from the left-leaning outlets. Look what happens when you look at the right-leaning outlets. Same general story, right? Says here, did Biden divert FEMA funds for luxury migrant apartments with flat screen TVs? This one from Breitbart. Mayorkas says FEMA is out of money, but it spent wildly on migrants. You see how wildly different that information is presented just in these headlines before you ever even click. That's the type of thing you notice when you have Ground News. Ground News is a startup and service that aims to combat bias in the media by adding context and transparency to all the news that you consume. You can see here above the headline, before you ever click a story, you get all these extra layers of information. You can see where the money comes from. You can see the factuality rating. You can see the bias of the outlet, right? So just so much more information and context you get before you ever even click an article to read it in the first place. Here's one of my favorite things they got on Ground News. It's called the blind spot feature. This shows you stories that are not being covered on either side of the political spectrum right now. Like right now on the left, no one is talking about Trump's visit to Lubavitcher Rebbe's grave on October 7th, and no one on the right is talking about how the Supreme Court is signaling it may uphold some Biden regulations as it pertains to guns. And immediately you could see why either side in those scenarios might not want to talk about those things. But what this lets you do is it lets you get outside of your own bubble for a little bit, something I think we could all use a little more of. All right, so if that sounds good to you, click the link in the description below, scan that QR code to try Ground News today. You can try it for free, or you can get 40% off their highest tier Advantage program, which includes unlimited blind spot feature. Just so you know, listen, it's election year, y'all. It's heating up. It's never been more important than it is right now to push back on the bias and BS. Try Ground News today. All right, y'all, and we're back, YouTube. Listen, obviously we're talking about what's happened since Helene, but now we got Milton right around the corner. Thoughts go out to everybody in Florida. I hope y'all are okay. Get the hell out of Dodge, and you know, I hope it's not so bad. The last thing I want is to see Florida get turned into like a Margaritaville themed Mad Max situation. You know, I want Florida to stay there. I feel like if this keeps up, eventually everybody but the most piratey of pirates will have to admit it's not really feasible to live in Florida anymore, and I don't want to see that happen. You know what I mean? I can't break it to my wife if something happens to Disney World. She won't know how to take that. She's a Disney adult. We ain't got to talk about it. But anyway, I hope y'all are okay in the coming times. I do find it very disconcerting that this particular hurricane, Hurricane Milton, its namesake is the guy that wrote Paradise Lost. That's not, I don't believe in the simulation, but every now and then I'm like, well, I don't like the sound of all that. So take care of yourselves, be safe down there, because Lord knows your governor ain't going to do it for you. Ron DeSantis doing the opposite of his best. That's right, just picking out lifts and ignoring calls from the president or the vice president or just anybody that could offer any help. It's like, we don't need your help. We ain't gay down here. It's like, what is this dude? What is the even purpose of him being there? Just to start fights with Disney and lose, just to lose and make Florida look even dumber than they oftentimes make themselves. But anyway, I hope that everybody is okay in Florida except for maybe him, and I hope he's okay. Look, FBI, don't come after me. I hope he's okay too. Hell, I hope everybody's okay. But yeah, this whole thing, them acting like they help, Trump acting like he helps. It's like, dude, unless empty promises and unfounded rage are crucial to the relief effort, I don't think Trump is helping right now, okay, with all this. And he talks about how Biden's not helping either, even though like the Red Cross and the National Guard and volunteers and FEMA, they got thousands of boots on the ground in these areas actually helping people, and all they're getting in return is they're getting demonized for it by the most slack-jawed, drooliest corners of the internet. It's truly infuriating. Like, I've got to be sort of like when like medical professionals during COVID doing your best to help people that seem to hate you for it because of the lies they're being fed. But that's the thing though, man, these people, they don't know that they're lies. Like, if every word that Trump had said the past week was true, it would be very, very damning for the Democrats. It'd be a bad look. I would be reconsidering things if all he said was true, but they're not. It's not true, and that used to matter, right? But we're in a post-truth society that he's just allowed unchecked to keep lying to these people endlessly and just with no repercussions, no accountability, just filling them up with like desperation and resentment and anger and hatred. And I know this is crazy of me, but I for one think that that's bad and should not happen, right? But oh God, I can't let a Republican hear me say what I just said though, because they'll look me right in the eyes and be like, you know, that's exactly the type of divisive liberal rhetoric that's tearing this country apart. So what the fuck, man? Oh my God. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up here in a second so I can go scream into a pillow for the next 5 minutes. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. I'll put my stuff up here. I got the special, I got the subscribe to the channel, get all these videos, my podcasts and whatnot. And also the other one, important to me, TreyCrowder.com. It's where you can see tour dates, upcoming I'm a stand-up comedian, so I really do. If I'm coming near your city, you should come see me. If you like these, I think you'll like that. I think people who have been would agree with me. It's a fun time, so come see me, TreyCrowder.com. But as long as y'all keep watching these silly things, I'll keep making them. I love you like chicken. See you, bye.